attention. So welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for spending your time with me. I woo-woo terms, intuitive channeler, and clairvoyant. I'm a psychic and medium for all of us who know what that really is about. Everything that I'm going to present today, I channeled back March 2021. And I was on a walk and got a download, and it started just pouring out of me, and so I couldn't get out my phone, and I'm like, ah! Went back to my house, opened my computer, I typed out a 2-page outline. So it came on fast and furious, very articulate, very detailed. I offered a class that encompassed all of it, and of my 16 students, I think one made it to the end of the 40 days because there was just so much information within it. So this is like a baby nugget. This isn't even the first edge of the outline. And as I had all these grand ideas of what to share. And as I sat down to do the presentation, what came through was very small, we're gonna cover meditation, really, how to set and run your energy, how to clear your space so that you're in a space of receptive meditation. Thank you. So we're in a space of receptive meditation. Again, thank you all for being here. I want to share that we're on a free will planet, which means everything is your choice. Everything is your choice. If you feel like this is not in alignment with who you are, if you're not resonating with what this is, please leave. I will not be offended at all. I'd rather that you packed up your goodies and left rather than staying here and giving a glossy face. Because like I said, I'm a teacher. Yeah.
Side note, but we just got here, so will it take up the whole time?
No, the presentation's 45 minutes. Yes.
I just want to be able to explore.
Yeah, of course, and if you're like, this doesn't make sense to me, please leave. It's totally cool. Like I said, I'm a teacher, and I'm always looking for feedback from my classroom. So if I see a glossy face, I might be like, are you listening? Raise your hand. Only take what serves you, please. I may say things that don't feel in alignment with you, so just, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I'm not offended in the least bit. I'm going to touch on a few things that has been in the general theme of where I've been, the spiritual world, I guess is a good way to explain it. The discussion of this is a great awakening. We're in the great awakening. We're moving, a lot of times I hear the new world. We're moving into the new world. My guides call it the new because it's not just the world. It's not just the planet Earth. It is all. What we do, what you and your little human mind and your little human body impacts everything. Because we are so powerful in that capacity. And everything is what I channeled from an alien that I channeled back in Solstice 2020 was symbiotic osmosis. And when I heard that, I had no idea what that meant. But truly what that means is we are so intricate. The symbioticness of the trees and the mushrooms talking to each other. The fact that we osmosically receive information from somebody. Unconsciously, you are receiving information from the people around you, in your environment, in the seat next to you. You're picking up their vibes. So this is why we want to make sure and be aware of what we're doing and live with intention. That's why the intention came through. Live in alignment. Live in a space where we are truly our authentic self. And that's the problem. Because we come into this human experience as these little babies. Like I said, I'm a licensed teacher. I'm currently a nanny, and so I see these little beings doing what they need to do to get their needs met. And so you're learning things. You're learning how to manipulate your environment. If I cry louder, they respond faster. If I get more agitated, they respond faster. So these are behaviors that we're learning from infancy. And these are just being human, learning how to be a human in a body in this current experience. Nothing wrong with it, just how it works. But then that creates the experience that we have because we run into traumas. We run into situations where we are needing to do behaviors that are not clearly in alignment with our best self, our highest good, so that we can get our needs met. And this is where odd behaviors come in. This is where manipulation comes in. All normal, just how it works as a human in a body. So I'll come back to the, so this past winter, speaking of traumas, it was really hard for me. And it was probably hard for a lot of people. As I channeled back early shelter in place in Colorado, is that this COVID thing is part of the awakening. It's part of the opportunity to experience, an opportunity to go within, a part of like the experience of your awakening. A great place to be sheltering in place while we're having those symptoms, those symptoms of ascension, you know, the body aches, the nausea, the headache, all these weird things that we're experiencing as we're ascending. So it's a perfect place for that experience to go on. So this past winter, as I heard the message after I came out of this torturous past winter for me, this was the last burn off for that. This was the last opportunity to go deep. You know, shadow work, I don't know if people have heard of shadow work, or dark night of the soul. Like, I had several dark night of the soul, and as I talk to people and I do sessions, a lot of people experience that. A lot of people are like, wow, that was a hard winter. Wow, that was really some serious tough stuff that we went through this last winter. And it was intended that way, so that we could have one last burn-off, one last opportunity to struggle with all that conditioning, all that trauma that we had experienced, we've taken with us as we're evolving from infancy into the current human that you are. And so, coming out of this last heavy, dark winter, a lot of us have come out and are confused, honestly. Like, who am I now? How do I want to be in this different world after wearing masks and being this person at home doing whatever it was we were doing? You know, whether it's binge eating like I did plenty of, or lots of sleeping, or maybe you became that person who exercised a lot, or did, you know, all the things. So who are you now as you come out into this world of other humans? Like, it's one thing to be at home with your family and your pets, but now we're out here doing things like fairs, and like having to make eye contact, and we don't have our faces covered, so we actually have to make eye contact and smile. Before we could just be like, I can't look at you, you can't see me, I'm invisible, my mask. You know, like we did when we were kids. Like, you know, you all did it when you went to the store and you didn't want to go. So that, now we can't do that anymore. I mean, we can, but now it's considered weird, right? So as we're coming out, we're confused. Who are we? Who do we want to be? Do I want to be that extrovert I used to be? Do I want to be more settled and look within before I respond as I come out? And this is really what's going on. It's kind of a confusing time. It's overwhelming. I know I'm emotionally overwhelmed a lot. Like, being an empath and receiving all this information and picking up all this stuff from people that I haven't had to process through for a long time. And now, holy crap, I don't want to know about all your stuff. And now you're standing next to me in the store and I feel it, and I feel it. And how do we deal with that, right? As we ascend more, we become more sensitive. As you're at home, you've probably allowed your shields to drop, and now you're coming out and you're feeling everything, and you're experiencing all of this. It's kind of intense. It's kind of intense. And now we're finding that the old ways doesn't work. You know, that old stuff, the old things we used to do, the old things we used to try. I'm hoping a lot of people are experiencing that, because what worked prior to COVID really wasn't happening. Like, our planet was in not a good place. Humanity was not in a good place. And now this is an opportunity for us to come out and see, what do we want? Who do we want to be? This is a reset. It's a reset. And a lot of the things we're just not in alignment. As we shift and evolve and we're no longer in alignment, we're going to notice things like our diet. And by diet, I mean not only the food we ingest, but also the diet of the music we listen to, what we watch on our computers, the people we're around. Diet could be a conversation. Like, I know y'all have been there in that conversation, and you're like, how can I get out of this conversation with this toxic person? How can I be polite and walk away? Like this, and it's even more intense now, because before you were kind of like, yeah, that's just how she is. Well, you haven't been around that person, and now you're like, ah, damn, it sucks. I need to get away, right? So all these things are environment. How we make money. I mean, I'm sure a lot of us have gone from being in a cubicle world, in a communal environment, earning our money, making our money that way, to at home, in the experience of now we're living life through our computer to connect with people, or behind the mask, right, and all these things. And now we're coming forward and we're finding that what we did before doesn't work for us. What we did before is not in alignment with who we truly are, or where we want to be, or who we thought we were going to be as we were at home in that nice little COVID bubble going, when I get out, I'm going to do this, right? And now here we are, and we're like, oh, dude, that's hard. It's hard to be that person, to stay in alignment, to stay focused, and to actually eat the healthy food rather than the stuff that we pick up on our way to work. I mean, it's all hard. It's all work. Friends and family may feel different. If you haven't seen, I know I went through this with my kids. We didn't see each other for a long, long time, and if we did, it was like one-on-one, and it's like, I gotta go because I'm kind of weirded out. And so now we're in these group settings with these groups of people, and we don't know how to interact. And we're finding that maybe we just don't like those people anymore. Like, I see a lot of posts on Facebook about how you don't have to hang out with your toxic family. It's a choice. It's a choice. Just because they're blood doesn't mean you need to hang out with them. And so we're finding that these are things that come into our thought process, our awareness. And then there's the self-talk, right? There's that self-talk. It was easy at home when we were just a few people, and now we're out, and we're judging, and we're measuring, and we're considering in all these different aspects. Oh, I see her, and oh, look what she's wearing. I would never wear that. Like, oh, I would never do that. All these things that go on in our minds, right? That we aren't aware that we're doing. And we may notice them now, or before they were kind of quiet, but now we notice them. And now we're noticing a lot of different things, about a lot of things that people say that we're like, ooh, say that to me, right? These self-chatters, like, I don't like you. I know you didn't actually talk words to me, but I really just don't like you, right? These kind of self-talk, the mind chatter, I call it. So here's the question, how do we come into alignment? Like, how do we get there? Like, sure, we notice all these things, now what? Right? Where do we even start in this big, crazy, wild world where they have crystals and readings and people doing all these things that we're not used to seeing? What do we do? So let's lean into that. Let's lean into what that may look like. I heard many, many times that all humans need to be in a state of receptive meditation. Receptive meditation, which means not a led meditation, just in a space of being, of receiving. Our mind chatter is not happening. We're not following and laying by the stream and listening to the video. And, we're not there. We're just still. And we're just receiving. I'm not saying it's an easy place to get to, but I tell you, once you get there, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. If you can be in a space to receive the messages only intended for you. I'll repeat again what they said. All humans need to be in a space of receptive meditation upon rising and upon going to sleep. Receptive meditation to receive messages only intended for you. It's like tuning in to your station intended for you. Not easy, not easy. Unless you're an easy meditator, because those people do exist. And there's multitudes of ways of meditating, but what they're talking about to receive these true messages is to be calm in your thoughts, calm in your mind, able to just receive, This is how we receive our answers. Like, you know, the questions we all have. What's going on? Should I take this job or should I take that job? Should I go to dinner with this friend or should I go out to the concert? Like, right? If you're in that space of clear, receptive meditation, the one that feels the brightest, that feels the lightest, you know. When somebody's like, do you want to go to dinner with me? The old you would have been like, oh, sure, that sounds like fun, right? Because you're nice and trying to be friendly. But now, in your true self, you'll be like, hell no, I don't want to go to dinner with you because you're going to talk about all this nasty stuff, and I don't need that in my space, right? And that's where we need to be. That's where we need to be. And this is where receptive meditation and being in alignment comes into everyday life, right? Because you're going to be like, oh, body says no because my body didn't like that, right? It didn't feel good. As you leaned into it, it felt resistance, right? Because now we've had an opportunity to remove all that typical stimuli, all that typical what we were used to, saying yes to everybody just because we want to please them. We don't want people to not like us. That's the human condition. We want to be liked. We want to be accepted. But now we've had an opportunity to remove ourselves and realize we don't have to be liked because we know what being happy within our own experience is so much more fulfilling than pleasing other people. And so coming to that space, coming to that clarity, I want to share with you, like I said, I have these grand ideas of what to share, but I was told that we need to work on this meditation. And so I attended, when I came online, and that's when my psychic skills got really intense, like I'd be sleeping at night, and I'd hear yelling in my ear and be like, oh my gosh, is the house on fire? And then I'm seeing flashes of like, did you hear that? Did you see that? Like that would happen to me. Or I'd touch someone and pick up their trauma and suddenly I'm hyperventilating. Like it was intense when it hit me. So this is such a beautiful story. I'm at the hot springs, soaking, telling some lovely being next to me, and in floats this lovely creature. Here's the end of my story. And she's like, oh, you need to go to this school in Boulder and see this person. Da, da, da. And I did that. Changed my life. Changed my life. So at this, I just call it the psychic school. All of their stuff's online. If you guys are interested in attending, let me know, and I'm happy to share with you. Beautiful teachers, beautiful. So they taught us what they call clearing, running, and setting your energy. Because if we have all these other people's energy in us, if we're always like moving, and never clearly understanding what our body matrix needs, what only our body needs, we're just kind of doing stuff. Kind of just doing stuff without intention, without awareness. So with this, when we clear, run, and set our energy, I've made videos, and they're on my YouTube channel. Feel free to like take a picture of this if you're interested. And the way I created them was so that you could click them on and follow along. They're not intended for you to listen to forever, but they're pretty easy. You know, you click them and you follow along. You go to the next video, follow along. And eventually you're just like, oh, I get it. And eventually you're going to get to a point where like I can be like, oh, there's my grounding cord. Oh, there's my earth energy, cosmic, cleared my head. Great. Now I can answer you. Now I can give you a reading. Now I can make a decision. And that's something that's easily available. This one here we're not going to cover today. This is truly about manifestation at its core. You want to set your day, you want to set in your intentions. I made a video for that. We won't cover that today. There's just not enough time. I talk too much. So we're going to run and set our energy and do this check-in throughout the day. Like this is something that you're like, just came out of a meeting, just met with somebody you're not into, whatever the case may be, you're going to want to run and set your energy. And it's super easy. Excuse yourself to the bathroom. Do whatever it is that you need to do to excuse yourself. I have to wash my hands. I gotta go to the bathroom. And then you just excuse yourself and do this. So I want to take you through this, not once but twice, if time allows. How's time looking? 2:22. Okay, awesome. So I want to take us through this And if you feel like you don't want to sit for meditation, please excuse yourself. I don't mind, really. I won't be offended in the least. So this is all on the video, so don't feel compelled to like memorize this. So really what we need to do is sit with our feet flat on the floor. Your hands can be like resting here, however it feels, right? I was taught by the Buddhist monks, giving, receiving, right? When they're up, we're giving to the universe. When they're down, we're receiving for ourselves because it creates a circuit. That's how they explained it. So at this point, I tend to go down because I'm not sending and exuding anything to anybody. I'm working on myself. So we sit. Oh, I made a note. Don't be frustrated with yourself if you're wiggly, if you have a lot of mind chatter. That's why we're going to go through it twice. Be prepared. That's going to happen, and it's all good. We're humans. We're doing a thing. So we're sitting here, feet flat on the floor. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Don't feel compelled to. Whatever feels safe to you. Kind of just pay attention to your body. Feel your seat in the chair. Notice that your bottom is, sitting in a chair and your feet are on the floor in shoes. Have a nose and you're breathing through it. Top of your head is there. Kind of straighten your spine if you can. Because as they taught me at this the monastery I attended, the Buddhist monastery I attended, your spine is an antenna. We want our spine to be as straight as we can allow it to be. Some people say you have to sit without a supported chair. I'm not in agreement. If you feel comfortable and need that, do it. So imagine, this is called a grounding cord. I'm sure we often hear about this grounding cord. It's really less of a cord and more of a tube. Okay, so it's like hip width distance apart. It's a tube. First time I did this, come out if you want because it's really fun. First time I did this and I did my grounding cord, I was like, feels like I'm on a toilet taking a poop. Just saying. If that feels like that to you, like, truth. Humans in a body, that's what it relates to. Okay, so we're sitting here, we have a cord, grounding cord, but it's less of a cord, more of a tube, hip width distance apart, coming from the space that's sitting on the chair, where your root chakra would be. Imagine what the cord may look like. You can have fun and be playful with it. Perhaps it is made out of, the same stuff as a toilet, or maybe it's made out of fire. Maybe it's made out of water or feathers or super awesome silly putty that is allowing everything to flow through it. So imagine it going from your bottom, through the floor, down into the earth, past the rocks and the dirt, past the bones, past the dinosaur bones and the oil, past all the minerals and beautiful crystals, past the magma into the core of the earth. And there it either clicks or ties or snaps or pops in. Perhaps there's a crystal that connects in, or maybe it just connects into the core. If you need help, there's always an angel floating around willing to help. Angels are delighted to be of service. I heard them say, "It is my good service to be assistance to you." They love it. They won't do it on their own, you have to ask them. Just let it be there. Resting and relaxing. And allowing everything from above your head through your whole body matrix to float down. Through the top of your head, past your mind and ears. Relaxing that jaw and mouth and allowing that tension to go through. Down your cord. Your shoulders, arms, hands. Going across your shoulders and your chest. Your abdomen, front and back, side to side. allowing all to be released through your stomach and your hips, your pelvic bowl, down your legs, knees, calves, feet. All is released down the ground cord. Breathing and relaxing, feeling ease and peace. Now let's pull up some earth energy. So we have chakras at the bottom of our feet. So we always want to pull some earth energy from at least 40 feet below the earth's surface. I'm going to come closer so if my voice changes, that's all that's happening. So we're pulling up some earth energy from 40 feet below the earth's surface. Get some of that nice, yummy, clean energy. Pulling up through your feet, the bottoms of your feet chakras, swirling around in your feet and your joints and your ankles, moving up your calves, shins, swirling around in your knees and flowing into your hips, swirling around your hips and into your pelvic bowl and riding right down your grounding cord, coming up and going down. Allowing any stuck energy to move with ease and flow. Feeling any tensions, just relax. Earthing energy is very grounding. If it feels too fast, you can adjust it. If it feels too slow, you can turn it up. A good speed to set your earth energy at is around 30. 30% is great. If you want to go to sleep at night, you're going to want to set it at 70. Now we're going to invite cosmic energy in. So there is a space that I see wherever it is you came from. I don't know where that is. I just see it as a space far, far away. And I invite that cosmic energy into me. Opening up the top of our head like a funnel, allowing this beautiful light cosmic energy to float down the back of our head. We have 2 lines on either side, 2 channels on either side of our spine. Cosmic energy goes down the back of our head, down our neck, down both sides of our spine, down into our pelvic bowl, scooping up a little tiny bit of earth energy, just like 1%, maybe even a half. Building up our front body. We have 4 channels on the front of our body. So as we're coming up the front with our tiny bit of earth energy up the front body, going up the front of our body, up past our heart and throat, coming out the top of our head, going out that funnel across the top of our head, out into our aura bubble. Our aura bubble that's about arm width distance, all around our body, above and below. While you're looking below, double check that your aura bubble is tucked into your feet, runs down and connects into your grounding cord. Cosmic energy coming in, running down your back channels, scooping a little earth energy up your front channels, going out your aura bubble, going down your grounding cord. So this is your energy flowing. This state right here is your energy flowing. This relaxed state is the state that our human body is intended to be at. Calm, restful. Pay attention to this. Lock it in. Bring it into every cell of your being. I'll let you sit there for a moment. Just relaxing. Knowing your grounding cord is receiving all energy is flowing up through your legs and down your cord. Knowing that your cosmic energy is flowing. Going out into your aura bubble. Just rest, relax, be at peace, ease and grace, joy and abundance, peace and love. I know this is awesome because of time. I invite you to just be there a few minutes more, knowing that your body is safe. Those little messages that are coming through are floating right down your grounding cord. Ease and grace. Any thoughts that come in, allow them to go out. Now, this is the state that we would stay in for receptive meditation. We would sit here for about 20 minutes, not expecting, not wanting, just being present with the sensations and the knowings and the observations. Just experiencing being present in the body with your energy flowing as it is intended to do. To me, this is blissy. Let's come back to our bodies. I know we just got there. Back to your awareness. Wiggle your toes. Your fingers. Feel that tongue in your mouth. Flutter your eyes as you feel compelled. Good stuff. Have you received any messages? If you received any messages, that's where you would want to receive messages. I had the intention for us to do that one more time, but we're not going to have time. But you know how that felt, right? This is the state our human body is intended to be in. This is the state that we're supposed to be at 24/7. This is what we're intended to feel like. You know, those little babies, you look at them and they're just giggling to just be happy in their body, like that's their state. They're not thinking about paying rent. They're not thinking about putting gas in their car. They're not thinking about what's for dinner or what you're buying at the grocery store. Just being in that body. Just being present. Just being available to receive the messages that are intended only for you. Only for you. Remember, it's a practice. This is a practice. This is something you keep coming back to. You guys did amazing, actually. I expected to see twitchy bodies, but you guys are really good. Like, that's awesome. This is a tool for calming and realigning your body. Calming and realigning. We were going to go through it again as the observer. We're going to go through it as the observer and just be out of our body, just like watching ourselves. The second time we were going to do it, we were just going to be up here observing and watching sensation, watching what our breathing looked like. Like, that's a fun exercise to do at home when you're not rushed. You're just resting, relaxing, observing. What are those messages you're receiving? Is that a message I need to receive that I need to put that on my grocery list? Or is that a message you need to receive of like, oh, really? That last night? So I receive messages 24/7. I received a message last night. I packed an avocado for lunch, but I didn't put a knife in there. I received the message at 2 in the morning that said, don't forget to put your knife in your lunch bag. Thanks. I would have had avocado with no way to eat it. Like, so those are the kind of messages that you're like, oh, that's important awareness, right? And I want to tell you a cheat. I keep a notepad. Don't tell the Buddhists that I studied with. I keep a notepad next to my meditation cushion for things like, oh shit, I do need to add that knife, right? Oh my gosh, I forgot that I'm past due to pay so I come out and write that down in the beginning. Like that's easy, it's a safe thing to do. As you get further and further along and you're just like, you meditate every day, those messages don't come through because your mind is at ease and you just receive those messages and you just know them without having to calm your body matrix. And as we do it, yes.
I just wanted to note that I have a lot of mind chatter typically when I meditate, and I noticed that I didn't have as much in that grounding cord exercise, and I typically do. And I found myself kind of getting there, but then going back when you said the 70, I found myself just going straight back into that meditation with ease.
So
amazing,
thank you.
right?
That grounding cord is so amazing. And we should have one of them on us all day long. So as you're going through the day, so I'm a busy person, right? And I'm doing stuff all day long. And then all of a sudden I'm like floating and oh, I got a project here and a project here and a project here. And then I'm like, oh my God, I have too much going on. And then you just stop. Take off that old grounding cord. That's something we didn't experience doing. You shake it and it comes loose and it just retracts. You know, I see it going back in is like a, when you push the release button on a measuring tape and it goes, that's what I imagined it to go in. I've had other people say that it's like floppy and all of a sudden it just flops off. So whatever it looks like to you, and reset that grounding cord all day long. Check your energy all day long. Eventually you just get in a state where you're like, oh yeah, I forgot, yeah, here I am again, right? Always do this before you need to make an important decision. You have a hard time going to sleep. Yeah. As you have a hard time going to sleep, just redo this. Set your energy. Set a grounding cord on your bed. Yeah, I was sharing with you. Set a grounding cord on your bed. You know, that helps you go to sleep so fast because you're grounding all of that anxious energy out. Like I said, the videos, so you don't have to remember any of that. Oftentimes I come out of the meditation and I journal stuff. I often channel Christ consciousness, so I like come out and have like, like that download I got. Like I often come out and write down a lot of information. You receive messages. I mean, this is where your spirit guides are going to connect with you. This is where your higher self's going to connect with you, ancestors, all of that is in the space of receptive meditation. And that's where you're going to be within to be in alignment. I have so many examples of how I do this and I just don't have time. I live this way. I live this way with everything. I receive messages for everything. Like I said, got up in the morning, put that knife in there, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to cut my avocado. And messages about how to manifest. Manifestation becomes immediate. When you learn to use this tool, manifestation can become immediate. I was observing somebody in a cute little dress and, oh, I want to have that. Oh, and not through judgment. I made little notes about that. Not through judgment. Not like, oh, she's cuter than me. I could never wear a dress like that. But rather, oh, look at how cute she is and look at how she matches with those shoes. Oh my God, adorable. I got to get one of those. Right? And appreciating the beauty of that other person and doing positive talk. I could have easily went like, oh, that bitch, she looks too cute. I don't like her. Right, but instead I was like, oh my God, she's just so cute, and I want to be cute and wear a cute dress. That was at 11 in the morning, and that evening, 4 o'clock that afternoon, I'm in a consignment shop, and I'm like, that's my dress. There it is, stripes and all, except mine had a pocket. because I was like, pockets are necessary. Like I said, we're out of time, we're past time, I apologize to whoever who's next to me.
You're 2:42 right now.
Ah, right on, so we can wrap this up. So I offer a class about this. If you go to my website, feel free to add yourself to my mailing list, grab a card. I offer a class coming up, I think it's May 10th, I'm sorry, I don't know, it's coming up. You go to my website, if you're interested in learning more about this, I offer it online through Zoom, because I live up near Evergreen, so you can do Zoom, it's 3 classes. And we go more into this, we talk in depth about like what this all is, like what this whole experience is about. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming. I'm honored that you're here. Thank you for spending time with me.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Oh, thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Coming to the fair this way, Mr.
Yeah, so now you're grounded. All you have to do is be like,